are warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the thrift are warriors, can't rely on the bank, there's no way.
Good morning, Big Square Roadtrip.com with your morning horn of seas, your sip of chaga coffee. It is Sunday morning. This weekend, the media declared Joe Biden to be the president of the United States. Not really a surprise. Yes, it was rigged. I'm hearing the count was actually 2-1. Trump got over 80 million votes. Biden got less than 40 million in actuality, but who knows? You know, when they control the system, and they have been controlling the system for so long, of course they're going to declare themselves the winners. Yes, the computer programs were updated the night before. It's all bullshit. The paper mail-in ballots, give me a break. This is a guy who couldn't draw more than 1,000 people to a rally, and he gets the most votes in presidential history. It's just wrong. Those counting on the Steve Pieczenik came out and said there's the mail-in ballots had watermarks on them and we can track them. I wouldn't count on it. I wouldn't count on it. But then again, so many people are lopping onto this. I don't trust it because it's called the QFS coding system. There is no such thing as that other than the quantum financial system, that bullshit thing that they're trying to put together to make people believe that everything's under control. So otherwise, I like Pieczenik. I do believe he's connected to the good guys. But at the same time, why call it a QFS? The quantum financial system. It's got nothing to do with the voting unless you're trying to spread misinformation, in my opinion. And we all know that Q was corrupted at some point. You can have real stuff, have fake stuff. Now, the beauty of all this, for all those trying to struggle with, what's really happening, Mix, the beauty of all this is it gets back to Gandhi. Nothing you do in life will mean anything. It's all insignificant, but it's very important that you do it. And it is all insignificant if Joe Biden gets in, if Trump gets in. At the same time, Trump could have stopped this long ago, obviously. Just put the criminals in jail. So I do think he's got plenty of cards up his sleeve. And he's got the Supreme Court to say, yes, this is true. So, yes, I do believe that Trump will be, at least end up court-wise, becoming president. But at the same time, there would be a large chunk of the population, probably 40 million people, who would not accept it. So I think, Trump is our last president. I don't think the system will continue past, January 20th, Inauguration Day. It might happen, but in a divided country with a divided populace, with a road to destruction, pretty much no matter who wins, we're screwed. But that's all right, and maybe it is time to dissolve our governmental structures, dissolve the federal government and the state governments, and the criminality that goes with it. If you look at Trump's ability to arrest these criminals, it does not stop between now and the time, supposedly, if Joe Biden gets sworn in. He could, in any day, put them all in jail. There's plenty of evidence. Or have them assassinated for treason. That type, not assassinated, but taken out for treason. That has always been up his sleeve and can do that up until January 19th. Now, January 20th, if Joe Biden gets in, he can pardon everybody, all his friends, and claim, it was Trump was such an evil human being. It's all bullshit. Anyway, the media has declared Joe Biden the winner. Good job, media. They knew if Trump got another term, they'd all be in jail. So of course they're going to, this was all carefully planned out. Now, Fox News, yes, a lot of people saying, Fox was in on it. Yeah, probably. But I don't know if he's in on it with Trump or in on it with the bad guys. Truthfully, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're gonna live through whatever we're gonna live through. any scenario, all three different scenarios. 1, Trump gets reelected. 2, Biden gets elected. Or number 3, we have a destroyed democracy, and which is a good thing. We're a republic. We're not a democracy. And nobody's in charge. All three of those are leading to massive, massive, massive gains in gold, silver, and cryptos. Like massive gains, like uncontrollable. Right now, gold, silver, and cryptos are under the control of computer programs. That's been true since Alan Greenspan invented the first computer rigging programs. This is the 30-year chart for silver. No, this is a 50-year chart for silver. And right in here, right in the early 1970s, is when Alan Greenspan's computer programs kicked in through Arthur Burns, the head of the Federal Reserve. Back then, they did the spike in 1950 with the Hunt brothers saying this is bullshit. They're rigging the price. They went in, they bought 100 million ounces of COMEX contracts. That was their big mistake, because they also had about 110, 120 million physical ounces. They got greedy and stupid. Don't play in their game. That's why I scream all the time, take your silver off the exchanges. Take him out of anybody else's control. If it's not in your own control, you don't own it. You don't own it, and you will lose it. So the road to Ruta theory was that at some point, you run the system as long and hard as possible, control all aspects of every exchange, which they've been doing very well with the computer programs, and then at some point you crash the system. We are at that point where the system crashes. So hang on to your hats for the next 73 days between now and the swearing in of the president. That's when I see the major chaos going down. No matter who's going to be the president, or if we don't swear in another president. That's another option. There's basically 3 options. It's Trump, it's Biden, or it's nobody. And nobody would be somebody declaring victory and half the country not agreeing to it. And what happens? Pure chaos. And if Biden gets in, obviously Trump can pull the plug. I don't think Trump lost control at all. But if he did, if Biden got in, Trump could pull the plug on the economic system tomorrow. Just take Steve Mnuchin, stand down, or, oh, by the way, go buy all the silver you can get and gold you can get and put it in the U.S. coffers, which would destroy the banking cabal, silver especially. So silver is, watch silver. Keep an eye on silver. It will tell you what's going to happen over the next 100 years, truthfully. Will we become free, or will we continue to be rigged? And right now it's rigged. During Trump's whole presidency, 100% rigged and controlled. During every president since Woodrow Wilson in 1913, 100% rigged and controlled. With silver goes back farther, to the 1850s, to the Opium Wars. That's when silver manipulation began. Yeah. It was very easy to see in retrospect. There's been books written about it. The English were infatuated with all the teas and spices coming from China, and China was on a silver standard. So the English had to pay with silver. All the silver was being drained out of England. So they set up Hong Kong Shanghai Bank, which is HSBC, to get the population of China addicted to opium, and they required that the citizens pay for their opium in silver. So basically so HSBC was in charge of the opium, and voila, the silver came back to England. That's how long silver's been manipulated, probably even before that, but that was the big moment, and when the banksters really took charge. In the creation of the world's most criminal bank, one of them, HSBC. So this has been going on a long time. That's why the Gandhi quote is so apropos for right now. It doesn't matter. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we're spiritual beings living a physical presence for the time being. You know, do you think this drama hasn't happened before in human history? I beg to differ. It happens time and time again. It's part of the process. These are the times we learn and experience and experience triumphs and the worst catastrophes ever. So what can you do? You can get in the fight. You can sit back and watch it. You can financially benefit from the chaos of it's not necessarily the chaos of the election drama and are we going to turn socialist? It's more the chaos of the ending of manipulation. Because with manipulation, you need all groups to agree. It's so easy for Venezuela to go in to buy every ounce of silver and destroy the United States banking system and all banking systems. Of course, we'll lob bombs on them. That's what the U.S. has done in the past. But it all comes down to what is the weak link for the control of humanity. The weak link right now is physical silver. Is the price of silver. The COMEX will shut down. They're already preparing for a shutdown. They're looking for ways to turn digital, like everybody else. Even the guys saying, "Yo, Bix, the quantum watermark is a blockchain number assigned to each voter." Yeah, but where's the blockchain? What blockchain are you using? Is it a Bitcoin blockchain? Something that's immutable? Something that is open source software? You can't have a private blockchain, and you expect the people who, obviously all the Biden supporters are ecstatic today. If you come back and say, we secretly watermarked all the ballots so that we know what you really did, you think they're going to say, okay, fine? No. Are you kidding? They fought for 5 years while Trump was in there, and rationality's right out the window. So don't expect anything good to come as far as the system, a smooth transition or anything like that. I don't buy it. But hey, it's not going to end in a day either. So what you can do, think about how to take care of yourself. Financially, obviously, silver, gold, and cryptos. Silver massively over gold. 75-1 ratio. You make literally, at some point, the silver gold ratio will go 1-1. Why? Because we don't need gold. Gold is a relic of the past. I hate to tell all my gold bug friends, but crypto's been around for over 10 years now, and it's worked almost flawlessly. Whereas gold has failed every single time it has been money. Don't forget that. Every single time gold has been used as money, it has failed in its, 5,000 year history, 3,000 year history, whatever it is. It has failed. But we always went back to it because the thing that took its place was even worse. Now we have two choices. We have gold. I don't think silver is an option anymore because there's not enough of it. Silver's gone. You would be wise to get as much in your hands as possible. You're going to have Apple chasing after every ounce of silver. Tesla already is, I hear, chasing after every ounce of physical silver. Get yourself physical silver in your own possession. Send an email to my friend Andy Scheckman. He'll set you up. Andy@milesfranklin.com. He'll set you up with physical silver in your own possession. My take is, hey, you never know when this thing's going to crash and blow and go sideways. So definitely buy what he's got in inventory. Buy what he's got ready to ship. That's my advice. All right. Not financial advice. That's your shipping advice as an expert shipper. As far as cryptos, yeah. Cryptos are the future, no matter, because they're decentralized. Now, not all of them are decentralized. If you have a centralized crypto, you're pretty much fucked. What do I mean? A centralized cryptocurrency. There's tokens, there's other types of cryptos. But a centralized cryptocurrency where you can go to the company, say Ripple or Divi even, and say, you're a cryptocurrency, but we're going to shut you down because you have offices. You have people, supporting your cryptocurrencies. A cryptocurrency has to be standalone. It has to be decentralized. So XRP, no, it ain't going to work. Divi, sorry, it ain't going to work. Who else? There's not a lot. Most of them have gone away. Litecoin obviously will be great. That's why Charlie removed himself. Litecoin can do so much more than Bitcoin. And the current ratio is beyond ridiculous. It's going to go 4-1. 4-1 Litecoin right now is about, what is that? 1/4 of 15. 4? 3.9? $3,900 for Litecoin, and it's sitting at $61. It's definitely a buy. Again, Litecoin is my number 2 holding. Number 1 by far is Theta. It wasn't as by far until Theta went from 5 cents to 60 cents, 65 cents. And it's going to $6 and $60 and $600 and maybe even $6,000, definitely into the thousands. It's a hodl coin. And they pay you in Theta Fuel. Yeah, Theta Fuel, the ratio is 70 to 1 or something like that. I don't know when that ratio will squeeze in more like 20 to 1, 15 to 1, but I think at one point it will, as more people download the Theta broadband sharing app. The cache, what is it? The node cacher. What do they call it? I don't even remember what they call it. But it's not a big deal right now because your internet still works. In a couple of years, your internet won't work. There's not enough bandwidth to expand to the Internet of Things. And that's when Theta Fuel will really catch hold. And then even Dick Allgaier and the crypto viewing guys have it being used as a universal basic income. That's big deal. Because right now you can get it for 1 penny. So check it out. And what is Theta doing lately? It was down like 35, and we're down at 33, about 66 cents. So it's cost you $6,600 to get a Theta Guardian node up and running. And at Road to Ruta, we teach you how to do that on the private road. But back to my take on the election, and yeah, the battles are raging. Don't get too worked up about it. Life goes on. Any of the scenarios are going to lead to free markets, because free markets will always defeat the rigged markets because you have price dislocations. You can't keep selling $25 silver when the market's saying, hey, silver, I can't get silver for less than $100. That's coming. And the price on the comics could still be $25. They just can't get the physical silver. And oh, by the way, did we already talk about this? Absolutely. We have December, which is the largest delivery month of silver. Every year it's December. And we're coming up. And massive amounts of silver could be stood for delivery. Will it be? I don't know. If the chaos of the election, of the instability, all that shit keeps going the way it is, all it takes is one billionaire to say, oh my God, I've been buying gold, but silver is such a better story at 75 to 1. And then voila, the game's over. We've been saying it for a long time, but people are getting smarter. Even gold bugs are saying, well, silver's the one you want to buy right now, and then you can swap your silver for gold. I would never swap silver for gold. I know how much gold there is out there. Millions of tons. Millions of tons, not 200,000 tons that Jeffrey Christian will tell you. Millions of tons of gold is out there. So all you gold bugs out there, I love you to death, but you're crazy not to swap 75 to 1 your 100-ounce bar of gold that you've never drilled into. You don't even know what's inside it. Swap it right now for silver. Swap it right now for a hell of a lot of silver. Silver's too hard to carry. When you're so rich, you don't have to worry about carrying it around. You can buy a vault company. What do you care if it's hard to carry? You can create a monster subterranean vaulting system because you're doing so well with your silver investment. And don't forget, you are in competition with Apple, with Tesla, with Dow Chemical, with all kinds of huge companies that have vast amounts of money, but a lot of their products will go away if silver is not involved. Little bits of silver. They have to secure that silver. So that's what's happening. Oh, by the way, if you wanted, I asked Jenny Moonstone about the new financial system and how it will all go down, and she did an awesome reading on that one. So on the private road, go to the Jenny Moonstone page, and there's like a ton of great stuff here. A lot on silver. Silver and humanity must evolve together. Absolutely. Silver is the key now. Out of everything we talk about, silver is part of the election. Whoever loses is going to destroy the silver control. If Biden really gets in, you don't think Trump's going to pull the plug on the manipulation of all systems? That's what he was put there to do, to destroy the system ultimately, and it's coming right down to the end of this term. Pull the plug. Steve Mnuchin, lock him up, or at least handcuff him, or advise him. Steve Mnuchin, I want you to run the price of gold and silver through the roof to show humanity that Joe Biden and socialists will destroy the economic system. And that's all you need to do. And then all of a sudden, banks like JP Morgan, Citibank, HSBC will all be massively in the hole, being destroyed. And voila, we take back our country, what's left of our country. And we start fresh. So who knows how it's going to go down. I'm excited to be here at this point in time. I hope you guys are too. I'll be chiming in a little later today on some other info, and we'll just keep an eye on it. Take a deep breath. Get your physical silver in your own possession. Send to Andy Scheckman an email, andy@milesfranklin.com, and then buy cryptos and get your Theta node up and running. To do that, join the private road. I have a whole page right here, Root's Theta page. Click on that, and it'll walk you through how to set up a Theta node and how to buy Theta, even if you're in America. Remember, it's coming to Coinbase soon, I think this year. That is huge, monster for Theta. Oh, by the way, they're also starting smart contracts this year. So the difference between the smart contracts on Ethereum and Theta are just a night and day. But Theta doesn't want to say, no, we're not the Ethereum killer. They're not going to say that. That's what EOS wanted to say. And they did an ICO, and we all know, I heard Kick has settled, the Kin token, which is great. I hear a lot of people settling with the SEC. If you did ICO, if you had a coin that ICO'd, the SEC will come after you. So keep that in mind. Theta did not ICO, by the way. I don't mean that the SEC won't go after them. The SEC is pure criminality. But yeah, I am still hanging on to my Veritasium tokens. They are lottery tickets. It either is implemented to help save the system, or the system crashes and everything's worth zero anyway. And you just hang on to your cryptos, hang on to your silver, because the new system going forward is all about decentralization, no deciders. So keep that in mind. This is Bix. I'll talk to you guys later.
Well, I grew up in the USA. I was taught that speech was free. Birmingham to Burning Man, you can speak any truth you see. Lately things have changed, they say I can't speak truth no more. And I'm just sitting here wondering who they are working for. See, they're gonna kick me off of YouTube, unless I say 9/11's just another day. And they delete my friends on Facebook, unless I pretend that socialism's A-okay. And they are gonna shadow ban my Twitter, unless I tweet the chemtrails of Perrier. Finally they'll ban everything I've got to say, as they kill free speech in the USA. They decide what's right, they decide what's wrong, they ban what won't conform. They sit in shadows, they run the gallows, say I must abide the norm. Without free speech we lose freedom, they cut off our free will. If I find truth that they don't like, they'll label me a shill. And then they're gonna kick me off of YouTube. Unless I say 9/11's just another day, and they delete my friends on Facebook. Unless I pretend that socialism's a-okay, and they are gonna shadow ban my Twitter. Unless I tweet the chemtrails of Perrier. Finally they'll ban everything I've got to say, as they kill free speech in the USA. They're trying to kill free speech in the USA. Now wait a minute, it's not like me to give up on a fight. I'll expose their evil plans, bring their shadows into light. And I'll name names, I'll play their games, I've got them in my sight. They're trying to change the USA, I'll fight for what is right, so they can kick me off of YouTube. 9/11's all about building 7 and it ain't okay. And they can delete all my Facebook, but socialists fail every time in every single way. And they can shadow ban my Twitter, but I'm looking up at chemtrail skies each and every day. See, they have no right to ban anything I have to say, and I'll fight for free speech in the USA. I'm gonna fight for free speech in the USA. It's my right, free speech in the USA.